Paul Hansen attracted people. He was my uncle. He attracted people from anywhere and everywhere. Didn't care, members of the church, they just welcome, come in here, learn, take advantage of a game, learn from the game. Every year he'd begin every season, take anybody who was there, anybody that was going to play basketball. We'd walk into the foyer that separated the gym and the chapel. And he'd hold that basketball, and he'd say in his way, which was only his way, game of basketball is to put into practice on this floor what you learn in that chapel. So what was important was not the game of basketball. It's what the game of basketball taught and helped formalize sportsmanship, effort, dependability. Never occurred to us to bitch at the refs, to throw the ball. It was all about building youth through the game of basketball. At the beginning of every season, Paul, I recall, and the setting, very hazy, but there was a foyer that separated the chapel from the gymnasium, the beautiful floor of Edgehill Ward. And he'd hold the ball and would impress that the only reason for that ball and the game was to put into practice on the basketball floor what it was that we learned in the chapel. Now, what that translated into as it relates to me and I think any and everybody who played there was that the game was to build character. It was to build reliability, dependability, the meaning of team. So everyone played the game. Some were not good. Some were very good. All points in between. But everybody enjoyed it because they weren't intimidated by being bad or not even in being a part of a team that they didn't play on. They were just glad to be in an environment of leadership, Paul heading that leadership, but nevertheless, others, Bill Paul Sr., Bill Hutchinson, everybody involved in the program cared and believed in the kids by virtue of the game being one to grow from rather than a game only to be played. No one could really quite understand why Edgehill stood out, why it became such a gathering place for kids of all kinds of backgrounds. Leadership, believed and cared. Oh, how that continued to influence me in junior high. The teacher didn't care about me. I did nothing. I didn't open a book. I didn't do a thing. But teacher, Mrs. Zimmerman, science teacher. Oh, how she believed and cared in me. And she told me that she had never had a student with more ability, more insight, greater capacity than me. What was the difference? I'm still me. In other classes, I'm a dud. Oh, it carried on socially in so many ways. It's fun to look back and look on.